Hello, I'm Theodore Parker, and this is the Sideshow. And today is Thursday, July the 14th, 2022. As you can see, the sun's coming through the windows. Right now, it's about 64, 65 degrees, feeling a few degrees warmer, going up to 86 today. Weather with sunshine. As far as masks is concerned, I know I'm always advising to keep them handy or to wear them. Right now, here in the state of Kentucky, the positivity rate is 16.96%. So, under that situation, I would say yes, wear your mask if you're going out to conduct business around other people. Monkeypox, 605 cases in the U.S. across 34 states. Kentucky has 3 cases. There are 1 or 2 states with 1 case. And New York, 159 cases of monkeypox. Just a few high items in the news. Today starts the NAACP's convention, which will be going on until the 20th. Workshops, entertainment, discussions, things of this nature. The first time they are having the convention in Atlantic City, New Jersey, after a 2-year hiatus due to pandemic conditions. So, you near New Jersey or have capabilities or already know the agenda, have an invite, there you have it. Since I'm usually talking about conditions across the country and in other places around the world, I thought today would be a good opportunity, since I am here in Kentucky, to talk about Kentucky a little bit, which would be somewhat of a change of pace. So that being said, and since I am here on Google, ergo YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. Get that out the way first. I usually don't even remember that. I'm just busy talking. But here in Kentucky, it just got a new budget of $984 million. Governor's figuring out ways to spend that will produce the best results. And in a part of the tri-state area that's connected to Ohio and Indiana, commonly referred to as KOI, K-O-I. You may have seen it. Economically here, the common phrase is bourbon, thoroughbreds, and basketball. I'll get you some comments on that in a few. But some of the major manufacturers that are here would be Ford, Toyota, okay, and also thoroughbred horse farms make up a major part of the equine industry that's supported by Kentucky from around the world. Diving into some of the things, okay, also, Kentucky is composed of 120 counties, 6 regions. You have an eastern, western, and central Kentucky. And if you follow any TV programs, one of the actors in The Walking Dead had been touring different cities across the U.S. on his motorcycle, did make a stop in Kentucky for some bourbon and conversation. If you have seen that, then you know what I'm talking about. Some of the news items. We'll start at the top kind of and work our way down. Most recently, since we have basketball teams in Lexington and in Louisville, UK is based in Lexington, Kentucky, University of Kentucky. Coach Calipari, head coach of University of Kentucky's men's basketball, over the next few days at various locations in the state, from Murray State over to Georgetown and other locations. We'll be doing a signing for autographs. This is to help raise money for Western Kentucky relief from the tornadoes that they suffered earlier in the year. So 120 counties. If you want to visit, I'm quite sure there's something for everybody. Some of the famous names that's been associated with Kentucky in history: Daniel Boone National Park, Abe Lincoln, President, Emancipation Proclamation. National parks are a big deal here. Got fishing, lakes, other things of that nature. Kentucky, y'all. In regards to the state itself, the bridge that connects Kentucky to Ohio in northern Kentucky is under repairs, part of President Biden's Build Back Better plan and infrastructure for ground and air transportation and road repair that connects Kentucky to Cincinnati, close to the baseball park, and to the Newport Aquarium. Okay, I did want to make this known. Derek Chapin gets 27 years. He had been back in court several times after his charges in relation to the death of George Floyd. So the sentence has come down to 27 years. You've seen in the news with all this business of the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade and abortions and things of this nature being blocked and stopped. There was in the news about a 10-year-old girl. Okay, she was in Ohio seeking relief from her situation in Indiana. The doctor did perform the abortion and said she was 6 weeks and 1 day. Supreme Court has that 6 week as part of their rendering of a statement or judgment or decision. The man who is responsible for her being pregnant had sex with her on 2 different occasions, has been arrested. President Biden spoke on that situation in relation to abortion and trying to get the Department of Justice to figure out some kind of way to give some relief from no abortion ban. And since I'm speaking about President Biden, I said it was going to be mostly Kentucky, but I couldn't let this one count to Biden. Hunter Biden. You know, his name has been in the news several times previously for various reasons, laptop situations, business situations, and whatnot. So I saw his name in the news again. So before I say this, I will qualify this item with Hunter has known health and physical health and mental health situations that have been in the news. So here we have it again. Hunter Biden spends $30,000 on escorts. Now that's some people's yearly salary. But the one that got me was, in the process of all this going on, being with the escorts per se, and in particular, there was a photograph taken of him, some parts of his body not being clothed, with a handgun. So although his face was not in it, his other body parts were in it, and it was entitled Hunter Biden. So the gun part is what's got me, people take pictures with guns, a la Bonnie and Clyde, et cetera, kind of get a little resistance from me. Also, here in Kentucky, 2 people were arrested for the murder of a high school student, are charged with the second murder at a bus stop. These things happened months ago, and they were seeking to find out who it was that was responsible. Now they have them in custody. Here in Kentucky, there was a domestic call, and when the police responded, the man ended up killing 3 officers and 1 canine. Their funeral was last week. So, and the subsequent arrest, I'm sure you've heard the expression, beat you black and blue. This man's face was the direct interpretation of that phrase. I don't see how his eyes were still open, even though they were just like that. But the rest of his face was literally black and blue. And here's another sad one in this sense. You have a young officer, been on the police force, and he was off duty. He also was a volunteer fireman and had several other community activities going in his area. And he stopped to lend aid to a motorist on the highway who seemed to be in distress. So when he stopped and approached the motorist shot him. So, that caused an uproar. That person is in custody. Back to basketball. Coach Calipari, did I say this, would be signing autographs for Western Kentucky Relief over the next week. Murray State included, and other places. I mentioned 120 counties, 6 regions, bourbon, thoroughbreds, and basketball. Oh, speaking of bourbon, once a year, Periwinkle sells bourbons, very expensive, very exclusive. I think that's during Derby Day or Derby Week, Churchill Downs. And most recently in Louisville, they were having the Dirt Bowl basketball tournament. Broadway in Louisville runs from West End to the East End. And if you get on the West End and go all the way to the end of it, there's a park. And it also, the street is, it's a residential area. The street in particular is a turnaround rest stop for city buses. So people were present at the park for the Dirt Ball tournament. And, families, children, et cetera, et cetera. So the police were supposed to be serving a warrant to one of the people at the park, but to their credit, LMPD were waiting for most of the people in the park to disperse before they served the warrant, because the person already had a reputation for carrying a firearm, and part of the warrant specified that it was related to possession of a firearm by a felon. So, in the process of executing the warrant, shootings start happening. So people were ducking and running and all this other kind of stuff. So one officer got shot and the suspect got shot. And both of them ended up in the hospital. But the person that they were serving the warrant on was arrested. So that's kind of like Kentucky for right now, I wanted to also pass some things on to you since we are in the middle, per se, of summer. Oh, yes, one other thing before I forget, because Great Cycle Challenge is a bicycle-related event. You can look it up on the internet. It doesn't take place until September, But if you have a bicycle, interested in bicycling or interested in cycling, you can participate as a group, as a family, as an individual. And like I say, great cycle challenge. It's not until September, but that gives you time to get up to speed on the information, what's required, and make a decision as to whether or not you would want to participate. I don't think it's something that's too adverse. You know, you can work around your own schedule with it, but just take a look, see if nothing else. I'm passing on food items and food advice and so forth and so on. Now, this is my suggestion for today for the summer. I've given you several already. Jello, famous Jello. That commercials, Bill Cosby used to make one back in the day. But here's my added suggestion, Jello with fruit cocktail. Since Jello comes in different flavors, and the cocktail has different fruit in it. You can buy it in a can. It has juice and all that other kind of stuff in it. Once the Jello is chilled, now you have fruit Jello. And of course, the all-time favorite, banana pudding, consisting of bananas, pudding, and vanilla wafers. But I would suggest that when you select your pudding, read the label, and in all cases, follow directions as specified on the packaging. But there is vanilla pudding and there is banana pudding. And it does make a difference in the flavor. Thursday, July 14th, 2022. That's it. Hashtag.